recorded our RLP note, it still does. I talked to his great grandson Donovan. Donovan just was rearranging some things. It still seems to be up and working. The result of that is we should move that site from his house, okay? So as a result of that, if anybody lives in Rifle or Carbondale, we need pretty direct access on 450, line of sight 450 to the repeater to move that from IRLP. So at any rate,
And on all the time internet.
yeah, on all the time
And
internet.
it doesn't, if you're worried about how much bandwidth, it doesn't take much bandwidth at all. I mean, a simple little DSL circuit makes it work. So you don't need a big pipe. You don't even notice it's there. I've had mine for years. And I run a voice over IP phone at the same time I do IRLP, and both work fine.
And Ken does the same thing for Echolink, and he's in Rifle, but we can't put both sites at his house. So anyway, that's it. You have anything to say about Jim?
Just a great guy,
Yeah,
you know, quiet,
yeah.
very helpful.
We came down from Anvil Points after we installed the 10 solar panels up there, and Susie and I and Bob were there, and we went down to, I can't think of the name of the place. What's the name of that place?
Rib City.
Rib City. Rib City.
Rib
Yeah.
City.
Rib City. So we were there eating, and
In Rifle.
we're just finishing up, and he and Donovan and his wife Nancy walked up, and we hadn't seen him since he had his heart attack and stuff. So he had one more operation to go, but it wasn't strong enough to have that operation. He passed away about a week later.
All right. CE, you had an issue regarding Sunday nights.
Oh, not an issue. I have been keeping track and keeping a schedule for net control. And the worst part of it is when I come up to see people at meetings, I get the feeling that they're saying, oh no, he's going to ask me to. But people have been very, very cooperative and you know, have done quite well, and there's a stable of people who do it. And I think it's important that we have people who know how to conduct a net and are able to do it. Right now, I've got people for all of October. I'm still open in November. If people want to volunteer, I'll put your name down on the calendar. I won't get too far out. I'll probably keep 1 or 2 months going, but just so that we'll always have somebody. And I will usually on about Thursday, whoever's assigned, I'll send an email to remind you. And it would be good if you get that email, if you respond to it, because otherwise I'm sitting there as 8:30 approaches and I'm saying, I wonder if they remembered. So if I get a response, then I feel better. So anyway, let me know. I'm out to November 6th, 13th, and 20th now. So just contact me after the meeting or let me know. I also have I've demonstrated that spreadsheet, which is not a logging spreadsheet. It's just a helper. You know, somebody responds to call in, and I'll put an asterisk and 3NI, and Clark's name comes up, and his location and so forth. And it just makes it easier to do it. It sounds like I know everybody, but actually it's just coming up on the spreadsheet. But I can let people have that, and I run it every net anyway. And if there is somebody who's new and isn't on our database, I'll go ahead and put that in the database so next time they'll be there. And then with the reminder that I email out, I send the latest copy of the spreadsheet. So anyway, thank you all who have done that. It really hasn't been that hard. And keep up the good work.
And Jerry, do you want to make an announcement?
in my back of my car and a bunch of bags, so if anybody wants any apples, and they're really good this year. We had the tree pruned last spring, and it made a big difference. They're a lot bigger, and I think they taste better. So anybody who wants apples, come see me at the end of the meeting, and I'll give you a bunch.
I think Granny Smith, Macintosh, delicious.
I don't know what they are. Anybody who thinks they know, let me know. Because that tree was there when we moved in 6 years ago, and nobody knows what the tree is. You know,
It's an apple tree.
it's an apple tree.
And they survive the golf balls, right?
Oh yeah, anybody who would like a few golf balls, let me know too. Every time I mow the back lawn, I collect half a dozen or so.
All right,
Chewed up by the mower.
I'm gonna,
No, they don't. Usually the mower goes over them.
All right, I'm gonna do a brief Aries update. We had our second board meeting, and the past year hasn't been as active as the previous year, and most of that's my fault because of my real estate issues, moving out of my place so we can expand it and remodel it, and then moving back in, so all my radios, everything is in a box. And so I've just been kind of, it's been difficult to do much other than just keep my head above water. Statewide though, Aries is going through a bit of a change. Some of you may recall, if you've not done anything with Aries, you may recall from the exams of races versus Aries and so forth, and sometimes there is conflict between races and Aries. And as a state of Colorado passed a bill about 4 months ago, and is changing how the state of Colorado looks at emergency communications. And so the state of Colorado is created Oxcom for just auxiliary emergency communications, and we'll have a director for emergency communications that encompasses both Aries and races, so that we don't have the same levels of competition. There'll probably still be some competition, but there's going to be an oversight over each of them. Right now, the person that's most likely going to be the director is the state director of Aries, and he was very instrumental in getting the bill passed. I think he wrote it, frankly. And so that'll represent a rather significant change. It also will standardize training and the requirements of Aries and races throughout Colorado. So I think it'll change things. It'll make things more formalized and a little bit more standardized throughout the state. The training manuals haven't been drafted yet. I'm on a committee to help with some of the, not the training as much as some of the legal aspects of the bill, and we'll see how it plays out in the next year. But so that's what's happening in Aries. And Bob, where'd you go? There you are. Oh, no, Cutter. There you are. Bob Cutter's got a presentation on propagation tools.
Somewhat of a, no, you could leave the lights on for now. While we're passing these things around, we had an event earlier this week that some of you may not be familiar with. The ELT receiver on Sunlight went live and received a signal, and I'm not sure that we've ever really talked about that before, but ELT is a emergency locator transmitter that all aircraft carry. The one on Sunlight monitors 121.5 megahertz, and these ELTs are set off by impact. Sometimes there's false readings and that sort of thing, and the ELT, we in Sunlight, our repeater is one of the first in the nation to have a ELT receiver and monitor. This is kind of a personal thing with me because in my working days, I used to fly a lot of these mountains, and I searches and everything like that. It's very important. When you hear this signal, which incidentally is now you'll hear that on the somewhere like that. You might be able to hear it. It would be worth tuning across 20025 or if you're interested in CW. And if you want, so again, it gives you an opportunity to know what's out there. It gives you a kind of a leg up on where to look and what to look for. Any questions? And we'll go look at some of this other stuff. Okay.
One thing is people have moved so much, like this KD6RF, he's in Texas. That's on there. He's on the one that pass off sheet.
Oh, okay.
So about half these people have moved since they got their calls on.
I have a question, or, these are all manual reports?
They're what?
Manual, people have to enter?
Yes,
this
people
in?
are entering these in right now as we're seeing here. When you see the blue screen come up, that's an instantaneous report. It just happened. There's actually a time there, 1647:0. Okay, there's 2 new spots that just came up on the screen.
Some are automatic.
Some are automatic, yeah, CW.
If you contest,
Side
they're
band.
automatic.
I mean, CW or digital are automatic in a lot of cases.
Automatic in the sense that Phil is saying that there are reverse beacon and drone receivers out there that automatically are pumping this in. If you follow this for a while, you over here on the spotter alert, you'll see the same call coming up and up and up all the time. That's probably a spotter that's in there. And you learn to pay attention to it or not. But anyway, any other questions before we go any further on?
This is usually considered a huge no-no if you're doing HF contesting, isn't it?
Depends
No,
usually.
it's not a no-no. You just have to click the box that says you were assistant.
Yeah,
And so it puts you in a different category.
right.
But if you're not, but I'm, and Phil's gonna talk about contesting, and in connection with this DXCC thing, believe me, that's the best way to work DX and add to your DX numbers is in a contest. And, but I'm talking about more informal stuff that you're interested in and everything else. Here's the Pennsylvania QSO party, okay? That's the bottom one that's showing up right now. That's a US station reporting a US station, but it tells you that there's a state QSO party going on. That would be an easy one to work. It isn't really DX. Here's a teletype one. This BE2FK is reporting the Netherlands is on teletype on 20 meters.
That's in a contest that markup, it's on RTTY contest.
Okay.
You get 1 million points of QSO, you get 1 billion points. It sounds like national debt figures, but
Okay. Any other questions before we dive into this a little bit further? But as you see that's going down here, here's another US one reporting a polling station on there.
Rob has to leave, and he's taking all this stuff that he was trying to give away and sell. If anybody had already decided they wanted something and they can grab it quick, he won't have to pack it up.
You want to take a minute and do that?
Anybody
Anybody?
saw anything they wanted, right, for sure?
What do we have there,
Yeah,
Rob?
what
I
you have.
didn't even
What's
look.
on the table?
state what you got.
I've got a 2-meter all mode and then a bunch of little things over there. ICOM automatic antenna tuner, probably and a good ICOM desk mic. If anybody had ICOM rigs, it would fit nicely either one of those. Even with the new ICOM rig, the automatic tuner will go with the new one, 7300. So if anybody wanted an external tuner for that.
Or a whole lot of speakers?
I was supposed to have a rehearsal today at 12 and they changed it to 11, so that's good.
Story of Pat Fitzgerald's life, too.
That's right.
Thanks, Sue.
Okay, well, let's dive into this stuff, because
Sorry,
I know
Bob.
you've got some other stuff to do. We want to, well, we can probably do this without the, light. All right. You remember I told you that you could get some additional let's take that finish station that's right there. Whoops, see this, that's why I gave you a handout. OH1E. Okay. You notice the screen, the box has come up, it isn't the full box, so we just lost it. Okay, there's the box. You see it has,
The screen keeps moving.
That's called chasing deals, right?
yeah.
Filter out some data.
Let's go up here and get the little,
Take the top one and it won't disappear quite so fast.
yeah, that's the first one that jumps down. I want to do Mongolia. Mongolia is kind of neat DX.
I heard him this morning on 40.
Okay, JT1CO.
He was on 579 and 40 this morning.
CW?
Yeah. The only way to go. The guy does speak, he does speak English, he sat beside him breakfast at dinner one night. He has a huge wheat farm in Mongolia.
I don't know. The thought of doing digital without a software-defined radio just doesn't seem right.
Yes, he
Okay,
does pick up too
I
much.
gave up on Mongolia and I decided to go to New Zealand. Okay, you want to get the lights? Make this a little bit easier to understand. Jerry or Kevin, you want to grab the light for me? Okay. I clicked on the VOA COP pop-up that came up there. This is on this screen, these are the various frequencies. 10 meters, 12 meters, 15 meters, 17, 20, so on and so forth. Right now, and this is the time that we're on right now, and that's the frequency that he's on. He's on 7 megahertz. I don't see, but anyway, it said on the spot that he's on 7 megahertz. There's 7 megahertz right now from where we are, which is DM69, to New Zealand, which is 12,000 kilometers. We got a white square, and that equals 0%. Good luck. Okay?
If you go back about 1300, you'll see where I heard
How did you get that?
down at the bottom
He just clicked.
What frequency
on
were you on?
40 meters.
40 meters, okay. Well, I can't click with the laser pointer. Okay, Phil, of course, Phil was there earlier, but Phil was in this time. See, you can't see it, but it was 1,300 hours right there. That's GMT. If we follow this thing around, we see that it's 40 meters. And the computer says, right now, you had a 7% probability that you'd be successful. That because it was 40 meters, it was better 4 or 5 hours ago when Phil worked it. But again, this is, so let's say, all right, I really want to work New Zealand. I've got a girlfriend down there, Sheila, that I met many years ago. And so I've decided that I want to know where to do it. This is saying at 0.1 hours on 15 meters, I've got an 83% chance of working Sheila in New Zealand. Okay? That's about 7 o'clock tonight.
That's calibrated for where you are.
From where we are, right here, DM69.
Oh, okay.
That was something that when you bring this program up, that thing over, it's kind of over in this area here. I've got a circle on it, the one that's
Yeah, I see it.
hand out is going to be blank. And so this isn't going to mean anything when it's blank. You want to put in DM69 so that it knows which A to work from. But anyway, here we go. This gives us an idea of when to go fishing and where to look, what pond to be in. Okay, any questions?
Looks like it's a graph of you should have been here yesterday.
Oh, I clicked on any call sign. Russell just asked me how I got that box to begin with. Let's get another one. to, San Tome, that's a pretty good piece of,
If I click on that call sign, I've got it on also, I don't get that box, I get a different box.
what box do you get into
It
it?
says spotter, country, and info.
That's probably because you don't have a location in. In other words, you haven't basically signed up, is what you've done. And so the computer's saying, hey, I'm not gonna give you that because you haven't told me where you are, okay? You haven't told me what river you're on, so how can I tell you what the fish are or what to use, okay?
Okay.
All right, now we're in San Tome. That's a good piece of DX. Where's San Tome, Phil?
It's, off the coast of Africa, and, this can't be a native. It's gotta be
Okay, well,
somebody
we're
that's
not in bad
visiting
shape
there.
right now. It's saying, San Tome is the 30% chance. Right now, this is where we are, 1,700 hours, and it's 10 meters. Hey, look at that, 10 meters.
Well, look at the spotter, I think the spotter is in Europe.
Yeah, the spotter's in Europe, but,
Long path, talk about long path.
but it's doable. Anyway, this is, it's just a tool that you can use when you're looking for DX. One of the other boxes that's in there that's kind of interesting to use is probably more applicable to, I clicked on the Barbados one there, okay?
Yeah, so you know that you're into
Said summer sunset instead. Yeah,
I
we get your band in the morning.
must have the wrong time or something in here. Yeah, I do. My computer is not set to Greenwich Mean Time, it's set to local time. What this is showing is that we're both in darkness. Here we are, and here's Barbados. Well, we know that isn't true. So my computer down here is set for 10:52 a.m. I need to reset that to Greenwich Mean Time to make this meaningful.
They'll give you 2 clocks down there, you can pop up another clock.
Well, maybe that, I don't know. Anyway, that's what this is significant in the sense that this line right here, which is called the terminator, the difference between dark, and it isn't Arnold Schwarzenegger, between dark and light, often turns some really weird propagation, and it generally enhances propagation. And generally, if a station happens to be on the terminator and happens to be over here, in other words, Africa and Alaska right now probably have almost a pipeline, because the propagation is going to follow that line around, especially on the lower frequency bands, like 160 meters, 80 meters, to a certain extent 40 meters. But again, it's just a tool that you would use as you're studying this. This is, don't expect to know this right away. It's something to play with. Even if you're not transmitting, get on and look at some of this thing just to see what's going on in the world as far as DX is concerned.
Is there
This
a help
morning-
screen on this site as well?
A help screen?
Yeah, I mean, somebody,
No,
Help.
information.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, there's tutorials up there on the upper right,
okay.
all right? Let's just for the fun of it, let's try okay, what's your favorite, okay, you guys are, let's say digital, okay?
Okay.
This morning, 40 was good to Europe, right on the terminator, coming over Australia and the Pacific,
Okay, I click digital, I'm gonna tell it to set the filters, let's see what happens.
Now, if you don't set the frequency, does it just look at all frequencies then?
Yes, yes. Okay, that's just given us digital now. Okay, you see teletype, PSK, so on and so forth. We know because of this frequency that it's up in the teletype area. It may not necessarily, we're pretty sure that this is teletype. This guy is in Portugal, and he's saying he's hearing K1 in the United States. So you need to look at both these columns to see. This is a K1, so he's probably up at New England or something like that. But at least we know that the frequency may be open to the United States. Here's a teletype station that's 2 U.S. stations. There's our this one is in N9, so it's moving further west. He's in Illinois. Chances are the dam's open in there. Okay? And this is the lure. In other words, the only thing that you brought along with is a MEP spinner. Let's say a MEP spinner is digital, and so you want to know what fish are out there, where to fish using a MEP spinner. If you change to flies, which I've used CW, but that's somewhat elitist, I realize. But I refuse to apologize for it, since I'm, with some exceptions, I may be the oldest person here. Yes?
This is something to do with a metaphor, or whatever, that you used on this Terminator thing. You had Africa and Alaska,
Uh-huh.
but if I'm in Alaska, I'm gonna point my antenna right at the Great Circle Route for Africa, right?
Well, unless you're familiar with the Terminator and you know what it is. And if you're smart,
Okay, so
you'll swing it
if
over.
I'm following like the tangent of the Terminator,
It's possible.
it's
Yeah,
possible?
The bottom line is you really don't know where it's coming from, so you better swing that antenna, if it's a directional antenna.
That's a concept I had never thought of.
And but again, it's primarily on the lower frequencies, and chances are your
You
lower.
don't rotate it anyway.
Yeah, your lower frequency
But if you had a
antenna, but you
choice
may
between-
have multiple antennas. You
Yeah,
may
right.
have a couple of guide posts set at right angles to each other, and, okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, anyway, any questions? Okay, I think that's it for me. Thank you.
All right. Bill?
I've never seen that version of, DE7CC. I usually just tune it on one band at a time, whatever band I'm on or whatever one I'm interested in next. You can get it to show all bands, or you can just
Well,
get it to do one band.
I'm assuming you're drinking a cup of coffee at breakfast and you're trying to decide where you're gonna go fishing. So I wanna look at all the bands and whatever's available.
You can change bands real fast, just click the mouse.
What do I plug this into?
Well, I'm gonna see if this is working.
Well, this is a good time of year to do gray line, because if you get up at, I don't know, 6:30, 7 o'clock, you're right in the window now for that gray line.
Yeah,
So
I like
if
it.
you feel like turn your rig on early, it's a good time.
Yeah.
I mean, I was trying to work Australia,
I
New
get
Zealand
this
this
message
morning,
when I
it was 40,
plug in
and I can hear the Europeans
his
coming
chip,
in on Germany.
It's not reading it?
Yeah, it's called working the Australians.
Is it reading it or not?
no.
Yeah, I hear those guys
Okay.
okay, and sometimes.
Are you plugged in? 'Cause
Yeah, you're in a good location.
which laptop?
I'm just looking at my screen.
Southwest.
Basic bounce in message.
It says you need to format the disk drive immediately.
Oh, you don't want those big messages. That means you're screwed.
Can Pete help?
Oh, well, no presentation, sorry, Phil.
I got paper. This always works.
No.
Now,
Go to the blog site. It's up, you put it up on the blog site. Do you have internet on this guy or not?
No.
Oh.
Well, he's got,
I can.
No, I formatted it on my Mac, so it probably didn't, I probably picked the wrong Windows format, because there's like 3 different Windows formats you can use.
I saw it, I just went to the blog site and clicked on it, and I saw it. Me, it's reading.
No, you saw his
Yeah.
handout,
Yeah.
but the thing, I put a PowerPoint together based on
Oh.
that form.
yeah.
Yeah, okay.
We don't get one, so.
Yeah.
How about I don't have the device conversion.
It's not on the internet.
Okay,
but I
go
got
ahead,
into
Phil.
it.
We've got one.
Yeah. I didn't make a lot of copies because I thought the computer would leave, but that was a.
Well, it is, his handout is on the blog site, KZRB WordPress.
Yeah, you can read this later.
But the PowerPoint's not, but I can put it up later if
Yeah.
you really want it. It's really not that
But,
exciting.
Anyways, some of you have done some contesting, I don't know, Jim has, Larry's done it, and Bob obviously. And, the question is, why do people contest? And, my story is, I just got my general license and was, off at a novice bands where I could hear everybody on the whole band with one receiver setting, because the receiver was about this wide. Hear the whole, you only had one crystal, and you call CQ, and anybody in the band might answer you. far as US stations, they might be, if they got licensed in the last year, they just might be in there. 2 years,